What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 8 of the Week in Review. I am your host, Sean, and on this week's show we have 3 games in North. One-eyed word I can't pronounce, Kutkh. It's like Kutkh, something weird. I don't know, it's a weird game. Sea of Thieves beta impressions, a limited edition item in Super Mario Cereal, and we'll look forward to this week's new releases. We'll start this week with North, a short little weird little game that I enjoyed my time with. I don't think I understand all of the ins and outs of this particular story, but, I still enjoyed my time with it. I think I got the broad strokes of it. I think this game does a really good job of giving you all the puzzle pieces and kind of letting you just work out the story yourself. This is another narrative walking simulator with super easy puzzles. In fact, actually, one of the elements of the game is every time you interact with something, you have a letter to send to your sister because you're trying to get her to meet you up in the north from the south and whatever. That's part of the game that I don't super understand, but I think it's kind of explained. I don't really know. Anyway, when you send the letters out, it basically tells you exactly what you need to do, which is pretty nice. There was only one puzzle that I got stuck on, and it's because I got one of the items out of order. The puzzle I struggled with, I got an item too early, and I ended up, I thought I noted what it was, but I didn't quite understand what it meant at the time, and when I went back up and that piece of information needed to come back to the surface of my brain, it was totally lost, and I totally blanked and didn't know what to do. After walking around kind of aimlessly for like 10 minutes, I looked it up, and it turns out I was actually on the right track. I had the correct idea, I just didn't see the answer in front of me. One of the areas I think this game excels in is in its atmosphere. I was really creeped out and tense and just unnerved for the entire experience, which is only about an hour and 15 minutes, and we'll talk more about that length here in a second. But it just got to me. It just got under my skin. I don't know what exactly it was. There's a very limited number of sound effects and a very limited use of music, so it's a lot of just quiet, dead air, which is super weird. I actually got startled. I mentioned earlier the letters that you send to your sister. There's a sound effect that it pops up in the bottom left-hand corner when it pops up. It's like, oh, you have a letter, that way from an audio cue. And I think that's something else that this game does really well, is giving you audio cues to know that you're onto something. I talked about the easiness of the puzzles. Even the trickier puzzles still have audio cues, and you can kind of figure out oh, okay, I'm making progress. I just need to figure out that if there are additional items or correct order or what have you. But getting back to the letter, it popped in the bottom of the screen and scared the heck out of me, and then it popped an achievement, and that kind of got me as well. So I was a little tense playing this game. Speaking of the achievements, there are 10 achievements for 1,000 gamer score. Like I said, I played this game for about an hour and 15 minutes, and I got 9 out of the 10. I think there's only one missable achievement, and it's really, really easy to get. So if you miss it, don't worry. It takes 2 or 3 minutes to get it. If you follow a guide, you can get this game done in 20 minutes. Obviously, I got all the gamer scores, so that's another 1,000 in the book, and a completion on top of that, which is always nice to see on my Xbox gamer card. And I'd actually recommend checking this game out. It's got easy gamer score. It's a short, cheap, interesting experience. It's really good. Go try North. Our second game this week is One-Eyed Kutkh. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Kutkh. Kutkh. Yeah, that's what it says in my notes, and I'm pretty sure I spelled it correctly because I looked at it right off the Xbox site. This is another super short game. I think it's actually published by the same people that did North, which we just talked about. So they're giving out cheap, easy gamer scores. So look for them. Keep their eye out. You might actually see, I think they published another game that's coming out this week that we'll talk about in our new this week segment later on in the show. But this is a super short game. If you follow a guide, it'll take you about 35 minutes. If you don't follow a guide, it'll take you about 45 minutes. This is not a terribly long game at all. And unfortunately, it's just not super interesting. It's not great. I actually think North is the better of the two games. This game has a very interesting art style, which is kind of nice, but it doesn't have much more than that. It has a pretty easy to follow story. You crash, you break your ship, you need to get off the planet to get to your home planet. That's about it. It's kind of weird because this game feels almost like a tutorial level for a bigger game, and right when you're oh, we're going to kick into high gear and we're going to get to the next area and we're going to, start to expand on this, that's it. that's where the game ends, and it's just like that's just super bizarre to me. Another 10 achievements, another 1,000 gamer score, another $5. So if you like cheap, easy gamer score, check it out. If not, that's all it really has going for it. If you watch a trailer and think it's interesting, obviously check it out, try it. But I was not wildly impressed. Of the two games so far that I've talked about, I would choose North over this. But hard to argue at $5. I do like that developers are taking that smaller price point and just kind of getting weird with it and seeing what they can put out. So, I mean, I'm willing to gamble a $5 here and there. Maybe you are too. Last but certainly not least on this show is Sea of Thieves. It's back, baby, and it's got a final beta, and I have two things that I want to go over kind of quickly. Two new things they put in the beta. Number one is the new Merchant Alliance. There are a total of 3 alliances in the game. The first one was the Gold Hoarders Alliance. Yeah, that's what it was called, the Gold Hoarders. This one's the Merchant. The other one, I can't remember what it's called, but it has to do something with hunting, not hunting, but tracking down legendary pirates and defeating them. I'm not really sure. That one's going to be in the final game, which comes out in a week. Hell yeah, get hype. That hype train, hype boat is at full sail, full blast. We're sailing with the wind, which is something I, for some reason, can't do in this game. Every time I'm trying to go to an island, I'm sailing against the wind. It's taking forever. Okay? I just want the chickens. Which loops back into where I started this whole tangent, the Merchant Trading Company. The Merchant Trading Company gives you a very different type of quest. The Gold Hoarders, which I mentioned earlier, give you maps and riddles, and is just about finding gold and treasure, which is really awesome and fun, and I obviously really enjoyed that, seeing as how I played this game for 20 hours just doing quests like that. That's pretty awesome. But this is a really, really welcome change of pace. The Merchant Alliance gives you a list. They just say, hey, we need a black feather chicken and we need a golden chicken or a white chicken. Go find them on a random island and then take them to a specific outpost. The catch with this one is you have a limited time to do it. You have a pocket watch that you can pull out that has the time and the date on it, and that's where you have to get the chickens or pigs to. There are pigs on the island. There are golden pigs and spotted pigs, and they're all really cute. And then you put them in a cage, and then you put them on your boat, and then you feed the pigs bananas, and you hope that the chickens don't drown on your way into the dock, because they really don't like going underwater. The pigs, on the other hand, don't really seem to mind. I really enjoy doing these quests. You just go to random islands, hope that you find what you're looking for, and capture them, and take them to the outpost. I'm really excited to try out that third alliance when the full game releases here in a week. The other new content added to this particular beta were the skeleton forts, and the skeleton forts are really, really difficult. They are noted by a big skull cloud in the sky that lets you know that this random event is occurring. And what happens is you go to this island and it has tons and tons of enemies. A lot of enemies, a lot of cannon fire, a lot of craziness going on. And they feature a captain skeleton that has a key that will let you into the vault should you be able to defeat the captain. And it's like a boss like sort of thing. So you have to really coordinate with not only your own crew but other crews, because everyone can see it. As a 2-person crew, it's really, really difficult to get up to the shore. You just don't really have the power to counter all the cannon fire. We lost a boat, rip boaty. Sorry you didn't make it through this one. And I barely made it to the shore before I got cut down by all the skeletons on it. I knew that these would be really difficult going in, but I didn't expect them to be as difficult as they were. Like, you really need extra crews to help you with this stuff and hope that everyone's super nice. The flip side of this is if you're being chased by a boat and maybe they won't just leave you alone like you would like, you can swing on by and you can risk your own boat and hope that the other skeletons will take out the boat for you, because maybe you lost your co-captain on this because they got hit with a cannonball and fell off, but you didn't have time to stop because you were being chased, and then all hell broke loose. So I was able to sink their boat using the skeletons. I did lose my boat as well. Sorry again, Boaty 2. I'm still as excited as ever, even more so. I don't remember the last time I've been this excited for a game. It's coming out in a week, and I can't wait to share more thoughts and experience the third faction. I watched a couple of videos, and it seems like even with the, in total, 30 hours I spent with this beta, which is an absurd number, by the way, the 30 hours, it seems like I barely scratched the surface of this particular game, and I can't wait to experience more. So obviously look for more thoughts part, I believe, 14 of my impressions of Sea of Thieves in the coming weeks and months on this show. This week's limited edition item is a box of cereal, Super Mario cereal. And it has amiibo functionality, amiibo support. I'm pointing at the wrong side of the box. It has amiibo support. There it is. And I used both of them. I bought 2 boxes, obviously. And one of them gives you the location of a power moon, and the other box gives you either a heart or 5 coins, depending. I've already cracked the box open, so you can kind of see inside. There's some, I don't know, whatever. It says mixed berry cereal with marshmallows, and it smells really good. I brought up a gallon of milk because I figured, let's taste it. Let's taste test it. I moved my Donkey Kong mug. I got a spoon. Clang that. I'm trying to avoid making noise on the microphone. That sucks, but I'm doing it anyway. So, let's pour some and see what it tastes like. This is what you all come to my show for, right? Footage of me just eating random crap that I bought way too much of for no reason. So I have a little bit of cereal here in the mug, and we'll do a little milk. This apparently is now turned into like a how to pour cereal video. Follow, like, and subscribe for more tips and tricks. Next week we're going to cover how to put frozen pizza in the oven. Don't leave the plastic on. That's a tease. Anyway, let's throw a little in there and see how it tastes. Ooh, yeah, get all the milk in there. That is a disproportionate amount of milk to cereal in this cup. But, hey, what else would you expect from me? I love milk. Unless you're new to the show and you don't have any idea who the hell I am. In which case, welcome. But number 2, I love milk, so we'll put this somewhere. We'll put it up here. Let Mario and Cappy look at you. It says mixed berry, but it doesn't taste like mixed berry. Honestly, this just tastes like generic Lucky Charms. Boy, they duped me. They got me. It said mixed berry, and I thought, hey, they're trying something new. They're being bold. They weren't. They were just trying to get idiots like me to buy boxes of cereal for amiibo crap. Well, enjoy your $6. Enjoy it. This is incredibly mediocre cereal. I'm genuinely bummed about this. They had me at mixed berry, and I was like, oh cool, like I really like mixed berry. It's Mario cereal. I was like really excited for this. This is kind of disappointing. Unfortunately. Be sure to look for Super Mario cereal at your local supermarkets. Hopefully they have better amiibo ones. Amiibo boxes. I thought about like going to the store up to Rosar's and just taking my Switch with me and just holding the amiibo thing and just going through boxes to see what they all contained. But that would be a stupid idea. Kind of like buying 2 boxes of this. Finally on the show this week, we're taking a look at the new releases here. On the game side this week, there's one big game coming out this week, and it is Burnout Paradise Remastered. Burnout Paradise is a great game. I have the Platinum Trophy on the PS3, which means I had to go all the way over to Hastings and buy a $10 used PlayStation camera to send someone a snapshot of my face as they wrecked into me. So that was obviously totally worth it. There are a bunch of other smaller games out this week, but nothing really stuck out to me. I wrote down Spiral Splatter. That's $5, and I believe it's the same publisher as North and the One-Eyed Blank game. So maybe keep an eye on that. Could be short, easy gamer score yet again. On Blu-ray this week, The Shape of Water, Oscar winner for Best Picture, hits Blu-ray, and I've gone back and forth on this movie a bunch. I've mentioned it a couple of times on this show where I was kind of like then like yeah, and then and then like yeah, and then meh, and then now I don't really care. But it's out on Blu-ray. I, Tonya is out this week, the movie that fell victim to my if I don't see it opening week, I will probably never watch it. Habit, I guess. Curse, I don't really know. Either one I'm sure works fine. So maybe I'll pick it up on Blu-ray and watch it then. Also on Blu-ray this week, Justice League and The Disaster Artist. I did not like either of those movies, but just that way that information's kind of out there. They both sucked. They're both bad movies. In theaters this week, we have Love, Simon and Tomb Raider. I actually went from like not caring about Tomb Raider at all to like pretty decently hyped about it. I have the definitive edition of Tomb Raider from 2013 on my console, so I might dig into that. I've started that game like 4 times, but never completed it for whatever reason. But that movie looks pretty good. Love, Simon looks great. I know I mentioned 2 movies last week, and I didn't see either of them. Maybe this week I'll have a little bit better luck. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Weekend Review. Thanks for all your support. The views have been really, really great, and ladies and gentlemen seem to really be enjoying the show. So keep the views going, keep the comments and feedback coming. I really, really appreciate it. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below if I missed something, or if I missed Hype Train, or what are you looking forward to? Give me suggestions in the comments below. Come back and check back every Tuesday over here on youtube.com/channel/UCS_3D8MU DTE CTVETNYQCNW. That's the URL to my channel. If we get to 100 subscribers, I can change that to something that isn't awful or just a jumble. So do that. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 100 so I can change it to something else. So thank you so much for joining. Be sure to check back this next Tuesday and every Tuesday as I stumble through words and tell you all about the games and movies that I'm looking forward to and have played/watched. Bye.